All right. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll start this evening by an invocation. Adam, would you care to join us? Adam, are you there?
He is unmuted.
Well, while he's trying to figure out that system, Alderman Parker would actually like to take a few moments to share a few words, so we'll start with that this evening.
Thank you. I'd just like to maybe have a moment of silence in remembrance of Robert Quickshiver. He'd spent over 20 years on the Freeport Police Department. He passed away yesterday, so if we could have a moment of silence, I'd appreciate that.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. And we thank this officer's family as well for all that they have been a part of with Freeport and the service that they have been a part of with the police department. So, Alderman Misick, is there a bad connection for Adam, or should we just move on?
I was in contact with Adam. He's having an issue with his microphone. He's able to hear us, but we're not able to hear him.
Would you like to give the invocation then, Alderman Misick, or should we just go on to the next?
Sure, I'd be happy to.
Thank you.
So, Lord, we're just so thankful for who you are and what you mean to us. Lord, I just thank you for safely seeing us through the holiday season and as we prepare into this new year, to just, Lord, we lean on you for wisdom in all things that we're doing. And Lord, just to launch our city ahead and to see things as they truly are. We're just so grateful that you are there for us. And we ask your guidance, your assistance, and we reach to you with all that's on our heart. It's in Jesus we pray.
Thank you. So now we'll officially call this regular meeting of the council to order. Madam Clerk, would you please take the roll?
Attending in person, Mayor Miller,
Here.
Alderpersons Parker,
Here?
and Brashaw.
Here.
Alderpersons attending via remotely, Alderperson Borneman. Eric, can you unmute?
Present.
Thank you very much. Alderperson McClanathan,
Present.
Busker,
Present.
Misick,
Present.
and Berberay.
Present.
Alderperson Ross will be marked absent for this evening. Staff attending in person, Manager Bucas.
Present.
Directors Richter. Hines. Summers.
Present.
Sutman. And Huffines. I'm so sorry, Kristen, I did get you. Clerk Anderson is a present in person. And now let's go for who is attending remotely. Director Boyer.
Present.
Liggett.
Present.
And back to in person, Attorney Zito is our counsel for this evening. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And if you could please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Alderman Parker.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. Item number 1 is the approval of the agenda, and I'm sure you see on there that it says that we have executive session, but we do not, so it will be minus executive session. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion made by Alderman Brashaw, seconded by Alderman Berberay. Madam Clerk, could you please take the roll?
Parker,
Here.
Busker,
Aye.
Brashaw,
Aye.
Meissick,
Aye.
Berberay,
Aye.
Borneman,
Aye.
and McClanathan.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
And item number 2 is the approval of the minutes from the regular council meeting on December 7th, 2020, and December 21st, 2020, and the public hearings on December 7th and December 21st, 2020. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
So moved.
We have a motion made by Alderman Brashaw. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Second by Alderman Parker. Madam Clerk, could you please take the roll?
Parker,
Aye.
Busker,
Aye.
Brashaw,
Aye.
Meissick,
Aye.
Berberay,
Aye.
Borneman,
Aye.
McClanathan.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. Item number 3 is public comments. Do we have, Don, can you take a look, please? Okay. Okay, we have one that signed up for public comments, Mike Mead. If you could stand up there, that would be appreciated. Thank you.
Can you hear me? So I'm here tonight in regards to a discrepancy for reimbursement to be issued at 25 West Stevenson Street. The work that was completed on the building was approved by the Historic Commission. All the work that was outlined in the packet that was submitted was completed. Actually, after the cladding was removed from the building and the windows were restored, aesthetically it didn't look as pleasing as it should, because behind the cladding we didn't know what it looked like behind there. We didn't know why they had put the cladding up there. The building originally was a 3-story building. It caught fire. They reduced it to a 2-story. So I've been in downtown Freeport, living here for 14 years now, and this was probably one of the scariest projects that I've taken on, just because it could be very ugly behind there, giant can of worms, and now I've exposed this giant can of worms. Part of the reason that I did it is because GFP approached me about doing a storefront activation grant, which Linda, who I commissioned to do the wings, she used the storefront to do it, and I thought, you know what, that's pretty inspiring. Let's take it up another notch, and feed off of each other. So that was part of the reason for doing this at this building. When the windows got restored, they were filled in and shrunk, and even though it wasn't part of the packet, I went above and beyond and took out the infill that wasn't architecturally appropriate. I know enough crafty people in this town. They helped me design basically a lintel, like a window hood, to be an archway above the window, and then we made the texture look like limestone, and so that way it looks how it should. So to me, it wouldn't have aesthetically looked right if I didn't do that. So I submitted all the paperwork, the bids, receipts, everything. All the work was done locally. Freeport Glass helped me with the glass. Butch's Antiques dipped all the window frames. I'm really big about doing things local and inspiring people local. But these projects are really challenging, and there's a lot of unknowns already. So when you put in the time and the effort and you go 110%, this is one of those little hiccups that I think could be discouraging to other people if they've never done the facade program before. I've never had an issue like this. So it's why I'm here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That concludes public comments. Item number 4 is the consent agenda. The items on the consent agenda are considered to be routine in nature and acted as one motion unless there's a separate discussion that one of the council members would like to have removed for later discussion. Is there such a motion? Alderman McClanathan?
Mayor. Thank you. On page 15 of the consent agenda, Fund 225, Downtown TIF Fund, Newport Group Holdings 2020 Facade Improvement, Site Improvements, account number 225-000-6650, the amount of $3,840. I'd ask that be removed for further discussion and consideration.
Second.
Okay. Is there anything else, council? Seeing none, the consent agenda consists of A, approving and placing on file the boards and commission minutes from the Building Commission July 15th and August 12th, 2020. The Board of Fire and Police Commissioners from November 24th and December 1st, 2020, and the monthly Police Department report, September 2020. Also is the approval of the finance bills payable in the total of $711,348.53 minus the Fund 255 that Alderman McClanathan had mentioned. And then C, the approval of the payroll for pay period ending December 19th, 2020 in the total of $531,023.84. Is there a motion to approve this consent agenda?
Madam Mayor,
Alderman Brashaw?
I will make that motion as amended by Alderman McClanathan.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Was that Alderman Misick? So we have a second made by Alderman Misick with the first on Brashaw. Madam Clerk, could you please take the roll?
Parker?
Aye.
Busker?
Aye.
Brashaw?
Aye.
Misick?
Aye.
Berbere?
Aye.
Borneman?
Aye.
And McClanathan.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. Then we will move on to Fund 225, as Alderman McClanathan had requested. So, Alderman McClanathan?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I would move that amount be moved from $3,840 to $4,800 and to be approved for that amount.
Second.
Who was the second on that?
Busker.
Okay, we have a motion made by Alderman McClanathan, seconded by Alderman Busker, for the approval of 100% of that facade improvement reimbursement. Is there any discussion? Then, Madam Clerk, would you please take the roll?
Mayor, so we are increasing to the entire reimbursement of $4,800?
I believe that's what Alderman McClanathan had requested.
Okay.
That's correct.
Parker?
Aye.
Busker?
Aye.
Brashaw?
Aye.
Misick?
Aye.
Berbere?
Aye.
Borneman?
Aye.
McClanathan?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. Item number 5 is recognition of service awards. Manager Bucus.
Thank you, Your Honor. Tonight, we're recognizing 2 employees, one in the Public Works Department. He works in the Water Division. That's Ken Milliken. He's been with the city for 15 years. And Connie Hoffman, who works in the library, has been with us for 10 years. So we'd like to congratulate them on their service to the city and thank them for it. And that's all I have for tonight, Your Honor.
Thank you, and thank you, Ken and Connie. Item number 6 is a motion to waive the bidding process for the toolkit equipment. Director Boyer.
Your Honor, did you address me?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to say that Ken's an asset to the city. He's always punctual. He's highly skilled with a number of our more sophisticated equipment in the water and wastewater area. And I just want to personally thank Ken for his hard work and dedication. Your efforts are recognized and appreciated. Thank you, Ken.
Actually, Director Boyer, I moved on to item number 6, if you'd like to discuss that waive bidding process.
Your Honor, thank you. I'd like to just briefly talk about the motion to waive the bidding process for the compact utility vehicle. The Public Works Department is responsible for a number of snow removal areas, including sidewalks, curbs, bike paths, and small parking areas. That requires a small compact utility vehicle for that purpose. The Polaris is, we currently have a Polaris, but it is ill-suited for the work. It lacks traction and has proven to be unreliable. Just recently broke down on Sunday, losing four-wheel drive, making it less useful. I am looking at, or I'd like you to consider toolkit Bobcat 5600. It's designed and manufactured for this and other purposes. It's also useful for construction. The unit, adequately equipped, we would be specifying it with a 72-inch snow blower, an 84-inch broom, and a grapple. The toolkit can quickly and efficiently remove snow from sidewalks and bike paths and small parking areas. It also has the added benefit of light construction, and it uses the same tools that our skid steer uses, so it would serve double duty. The purchase price for the toolkit as equipped from Rockford, or Bobcat of Rockford, is $60,770. State bid came in at above that at approximately $68,000 with the same equipment. So the funding for the toolkit was planned for last year during our budgeting process and is available in the capital equipment fund. And I request that council approve waiver of the bidding process so that we can move forward with the purchase of the toolkit.
Madam Mayor,
Alderman Bradshaw?
may I ask a question of you, Director Boyer? My question is this Bobcat 5600, is this a lot heavier than the Polaris vehicle?
Yeah, absolutely. It's heavier. Of course, it is four-wheel drive as well. It has a larger payload capacity, and overall, it'll be a much more effective tool for our purposes.
And if I may further,
Sure.
one more question, please, Director Boyer. Will this be safe to use on the utility paths, being a heavier weight? The recreation paths?
Absolutely. We've kind of set it up and equipped it so that it would make quick work of any heavy snow on the recreational paths.
And if I may ask one more question?
Sure.
So I'm to understand that this is substantially under the bid that the state guidelines, I shouldn't say under bid. The bid is lower
Yes,
than
that's
what the
correct.
state says. Okay. So with that said, I would like to make a motion for acceptance of this bid.
Your Honor, I got a question.
Yeah, Alderman Parker?
The one question I have is, if we waive this tonight, how soon can you have it? Because you needed it yesterday.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
I believe I heard the question. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all, Alderman, or
If I
City
heard the
Manager
question
answered
correct,
that.
Alderman
Thank you.
Parker, you're wondering when we can receive delivery of the toolkit?
Correct.
We should be able to receive it tomorrow. There is one on the floor at, Bobcat of Rockford has access to one they can deliver tomorrow. Although the other equipment, the snow blower and the broom, won't be available right away. We do have a blade, a snow blade that we use on the skid steer that we can definitely use on the toolkit.
Thank you. I'll second the motion.
Okay, and just a question on Director Boyer. What will be the purpose of keeping the Polaris then?
I think its best purpose is out at the airport, taxiing aircraft around.
Okay, so is there any other discussion, council? We have a motion made by Alderman Bradshaw, seconded by Alderman Parker to waive the bidding process. If there's no other discussion, Madam Clerk, could you please take the roll?
Parker,
Aye.
I'm sorry, so we have a first by Brashaw, second by Parker, is that right? Sorry. Busker,
Aye.
Brashaw,
Aye.
Misick,
Aye.
Berbere,
Aye.
Borneman,
Aye.
and McClanathan. I'm sorry, Peter, did you approve?
Yes, sorry about that. Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. Item number 7 is the second reading of ordinance 2021-01, renumbered from 2020-80. Madam Clerk, could you please read this?
Ordinance amending Chapter 1062, City Cemetery, Section 1062.11, fees.
Thank you. Director Boyer? Oh,
Other fees.
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, as we discussed at the last meeting, this is just a correction, or let's say a modest increase of the cemetery fees, just to make sure that we're staying in line with costs related, to burials and the cost of plots. So nothing much has changed here.
questions, council? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, would you please take the roll?
Parker,
Aye.
Busker,
Aye.
Brashaw,
Aye.
Misick,
Aye.
Berbere,
Aye.
Borneman,
Aye.
and McClanathan.
Aye.
The ordinance passes 7-0.
Thank you. Item number 8 is the second reading of ordinance 2021-02, renumbered from 2020-82. Madam Clerk, could you please read this?
Ordinance amending the codified ordinances of the City of Freeport, Chapter 1442, Permits and Fees, Section 1442.01.11, and adding 1442.25.
Thank you. Director Hines.
Thank you. So we discussed this at our last meeting. This is a change to the section on permits and fees. We're adding in requirement for dangerous and unsafe buildings, or buildings that have been declared dangerous and unsafe to get a permit no matter what type of work they're doing. We did add in a section to 1442.25, it's subsection B, some language to clarify that if it's minor work that typically would not require a permit, that they do not need to need to pay a fee, excuse me. So that language is, again, 1442.25 subsection B. It says, provided that if a permit would not otherwise be required for the intended work, but for the requirements of this section, no fee shall be required for the issuance of such permit. And then in addition to adding a requirement for permits for dangerous and unsafe buildings, we just clarified a few things in the code section. So we moved minor repairs up to a different section. Minor repairs still do not require a permit if it's under $10,000, and it's for certain types of work. And then we'd moved emergency repairs to a different section as well, because emergency repairs do require a fee after the repairs are done. They still need to come in and get a permit for that. But staff recommends the approval of this amendment to the text.
Questions, council? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, would you please take the roll?
Parker,
Aye.
Busker,
Aye.
Brashaw,
Aye.
Misick,
Aye.
Berbere,
Aye.
Borneman,
Aye.
McClanathan,
Aye.
The ordinance passes 7-0.
Thank you. Item number 9 is the first reading of ordinance 2021-03. Could you please read this?
Ordinance approving and authorizing an amendment to vehicle lease agreement with the Stevenson County Senior Center, doing business as the Senior Resource Center.
Thank you. Director Hines.
Thank you. So we've received 4 new 12-passenger buses and 1 new 5-passenger minivan from IDOT through the 2018 CVP grant this year, or this past year. And so we just want to make an amendment to the lease agreement with the Senior Resource Center to reflect the new vehicles that we've gotten, and since we have gotten rid of some vehicles over the past year as well. So staff recommends approval of this amendment.
Madam Mayor.
Alderman Brashaw.
Thank you. Director, is this basically just routine? This just brings everything up to date, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
I'd like to make a motion to move that forward then, Madam Mayor.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion made by Alderman Brashaw, seconded by Alderman Parker, to move ordinance 2021-03 on to the next regularly scheduled meeting. Is there any discussion, council? Seeing none, we'll move on to item number 10, which is the first reading of ordinance 2021-04. Could you please read this?
Ordinance approving and authorizing a lease agreement with toolkit equipment.
Thank you. Director Boyer?
As mentioned before, this is agreement. The payments are spread over 48 months to kind of help with cash flow. And I'm requesting the motion to approve the lease purchase agreement.
I'd like to make that motion, Madam Mayor.
We have a motion made by Alderman Brashaw. Is there a second? Second by Alderman Parker. Is there any discussion, council?
Madam Mayor,
Alderman Busker?
motion to suspend the rules.
Is there a second to motion on suspending the rules? Alderman Parker?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion made by Alderman Busker, seconded by Alderman Parker for suspension of the rules. Suspension of the rules is non-debatable and must pass by a 2/3 majority. Madam Clerk, would you please take the roll?
Parker,
Aye.
Busker,
Aye.
Brashaw,
Aye.
Misick,
Aye.
Berberay,
Aye.
Borneman,
Aye.
and McClanathan. The suspension passes 7-0.
Okay, thank you. And so now before you, council, for the final approval for ordinance 2021-04. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, would you please take the roll?
Parker,
Aye.
Busker,
Aye.
Brashaw,
Aye.
Misick,
Aye.
Berberay,
Aye.
Borneman,
Aye.
and McClanathan. And the ordinance passes 7-0.
Thank you. Item number 11 is the adoption of resolution 20, I think that should say
Oh,
2021-01.
Yes.
Could you please read this?
I will change it on the actual resolution too. Resolution authorizing city manager to sign loan documents for Illinois Environmental Protection Agency Water Pollution Control Revolving Fund.
Thank you. Manager Bucus.
Thank you, Your Honor. As council is aware, we have a number of projects that we have ongoing. Well, number 11, the water treatment plant, the Phase 1 water main replacement, and a few others. What this resolution does, it authorizes me to sign the loan documents. The documents still have to be approved by council in advance, but we have to update our authorizations with the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency. That's why this resolution is before you tonight.
Madam Mayor.
Alderman Brashaw.
So Manager Bucus, this is just standard procedure, correct?
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion for adoption.
Second.
Second.
Verbs, maybe?
Okay. We have a motion made by Alderman Brashaw, seconded by Alderman Parker for the adoption of resolution 2021-01. Any further discussion, council? Madam Clerk, would you please take the roll?
Parker,
Aye.
Busker,
Aye.
Brashaw,
Aye.
Meissick,
Aye.
Berbere,
Aye.
Borneman,
Aye.
and McClanathan.
Aye.
The resolution is adopted 7-0.
Thank you. Moving on to department head reports. Finance. Thank you. She said nothing. Community development?
I just wanted to give a little recap of 2020 for the Community Development Department. So residents and property owners, they put around $9.8 million into permitted projects that made over $100,000 to the city in permit fees, and there were around 750 permits total through the year. We received notice of award for over $2 million in grants, and that's including the DCEO Opportunity Zone grant for the Chicago Avenue streetscape, and that's for $1.9 million, and the revolving loan fund for the downtown accessible sidewalks for $480,000. We sold 2 properties through the Northern Illinois Land Bank for the first time in Freeport, and these are the second and third properties to be sold through the land bank since its creation. We had 1,726 code enforcement cases and over 5,600 code enforcement activities. And then we demolished 6 vacant and abandoned properties. So I just wanted to give an overview of that. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for community development? Thank you, Kirsten.
Thanks.
Public Works.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just wanted to go over the activity with snow removal here this last week. It's been very busy. Crews first responded to ice and wintering mix on the 27th of December. They were out till about midnight or thereabouts, and then the next day crews performed plowbacks and continued to apply road salt. We got the heavy snow starting Tuesday evening. Crews came in and plowed, or primaries took care of the priorities Tuesday evening. Wednesday night, crews came back in, Wednesday morning, crews came back in at 4 a.m. and cleared the secondaries and tried to get our open lane down all the secondary streets, as well as re-clean up the primary priority areas. That continued on until about 5 p.m. Again, Friday, crews came back and responded to several inches of, an ice storm. It began around, I think, at 9 o'clock, and crews came in at noon to salt the roads to keep the slickness down. There's quite a bit of ice out there, and they worked till 4. And then Saturday morning, crews came back in at 4 a.m., responding to the inch or two of snow we got in the overnight hours, and then to try to open up the secondaries also. On Sunday, everybody rested, and then everybody came in this morning at 3 a.m. and worked till 3 in the afternoon. They'll be back at 3 in the morning tomorrow. They primarily worked on downtown snow removal. We also hit a few trouble spots and opened up all the secondaries. That's all I've got.
Any questions for Public Works? Thank you, Director Boyer. We'll move on to Fire.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The only thing I have to report on this evening is that we had a $5,600 donation from the Tom Kortner family. Tom recently passed away after a brief battle with cancer, and he was a retired Freeport firefighter, and his family set up a memorial to help out the fire department with some technology needs, and then they'd like us to put up a flagpole at Fire Station Number 1, a new flagpole. So we want to thank them for that kind and generous donation. Also want to encourage everyone to seek out their vaccination when it comes available. Police and fire departments and healthcare workers and first responders are all getting their vaccination now, but I really want to help the community by saying that and setting the example. I got my vaccination, and I'm hoping everyone will step up and get their vaccination too to help us get through this pandemic and secure the financial security of our city moving forward. So we really like to get back to normal, and the vaccination, wearing a mask, social distancing is all part of that. So keep the faith, folks, and I look forward to getting through this with everyone. Finally, thank you very much to the City Council for passing the ordinance change on the fire marshal position. I did post that position last week, and I haven't got any applications yet, but I anticipate that I will get some applications by the deadline, which is January 13th. So if you have any questions, I'll take them.
Any questions, council? Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
And police.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just want to give my condolences to the Quickschreiber family. Not only was Bob a member of the police department, but his wife Pat was also a longtime member of the police department. So I'm sure that the thoughts of the entire city are with the family in this tough time, but specifically the police department have been thinking a lot about the Quickschreiber family today. So I just wanted to put that out there to everyone.
Thank you. IT. And library.
Thank you. It was a little bit longer of a walk tonight, but that's okay. I actually just wanted to take a second and thank my administrative assistant, Connie Hoffman, who is celebrating her 10 years with the library this month. Connie is special. She does a lot of the behind the scenes work that I do, but I cannot do without her assistance. And we have so many of these administrative assistants that are just behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see throughout the city. So when we get a chance to actually honor them, we're pretty excited about it. I wish she could be here, but it is COVID, so it's smarter for her to not be here tonight. She always has a positive light and brings that to the city and to the library every single day, and helps any patron, any coworker, any person that calls with anything, stops anything that she's doing to help her coworkers, which is can take a lot away from her own duties, but she still manages to get everything done. She is on her third library director and is always there with her institutional knowledge. So we, as a team, we all love Connie, and just want you guys to know how much of an asset she is to the city of Freeport. And thank you. I don't have anything else tonight.
Thank you, Director. Okay, city manager's report.
Thank you, Your Honor. First, I'd like to express my appreciation for the cooperation we received from our residents and the visitors to the city of Freeport during this recent snowfall. We had 11 inches of snow, and we were down a couple people, and we were down a truck, and people just kind of pitched in. But I do want to say I also have empathy for a lot of them that got stuck, because I got stuck twice trying to come to work on Wednesday. My neighbors pushed me out the first time, and the police chief and a public works employee pushed me out the second time. So, it was pretty bad out there, and people should have stayed off the streets as much as possible. I think that the biggest complaints we got from people was the fact that we were windrowing snow back in their driveways. And I'd just like to explain to everybody that it's going to happen. When you're out plowing, the snow's going from the left side of the blade to the right side of the blade and into the parkway. And as we go across the parkway, we do cross driveways, and snow has to go someplace. It's going to land up in your driveway approach. Your best bet is when you're plowing, or when you're throwing, or when you're snow blowing or shoveling your snow, is to throw it back into your yard, not into the street. And we have quite a few people doing that. and that's illegal in the city of Freeport. You cannot shovel, throw, toss snow or cloud across the street. It has to stay on your property. So I just want to let people be aware of that is the law, and we have to follow that. By not doing that, it made our jobs a little more difficult. We got one complaint from a person. He said he plowed out, he snow blowed his driveway four times in the driveway because we plowed it back in. We wouldn't have to come back 4 times to plow him back in if we just would have kept that snow in his own yard. So, other than that, I think the people were very cooperative, and when we sent out our Code Red notice that we had this snow emergency coming, most people did leave their cars in their driveway or in their garage, which was very helpful for our crews. And just to give another example too is that we, as the Director of Public Works mentioned, we do the main arteries first, and then we do the secondary primary roads, which are your major residential streets. And then from there, we do the secondary residential streets, and then the minor streets. Cul-de-sacs, alleys, parking lots, and sidewalks are done last. So if you live in a cul-de-sac, we're not going to get to you the first day sometimes, especially when you got 11 inches of snow. It's different when we have 3/4 of an inch of snow like we did on December 4th. We were able to get the whole city just about in the first day. But 11 inches of snow is a lot of snow, and a lot of snow that has to be moved. But I do appreciate everyone's cooperation, and we did get a few compliments on the job we did, and thank you to those that saw that our hard work that our guys were doing. If I go back to the windrow for just 1 second, our plow drivers do not deliberately plow snow into people's driveways. Because when they go home after working 12 hours, which they did a number of times this past week, they have to then dig themselves out so they could get in their own driveway. So it's not just one person we're picking on, it's the whole city. Snow rows, wind rows are going to happen. So thank you. And Happy New Year, everyone.
Thank you, and to add on to that, now that school is back in session, please remember to take care of sidewalks so that our children are not walking on the streets to get to their bus, just for safety reasons. So, and now that the book of 2020 is closed, we can look forward to all that is in store for 2021. We look forward to the new year in anticipation of many grants being awarded and forgivable loans stretching our dollars. We are committed to making 2021 a success and believe that our best and brightest days are ahead. So now we can move on to council announcements. Alderman Parker?
Yes, I usually don't say anything, but I did watch a lot of the street department out working this past week, and I was very amazed at how well they did. They kept a good attitude, and it is tough. Until you've done it, you have no clue what they're going through. So kudos to them. They did a great job. And I want to thank the police chief for his comments about Bob, because he was a great guy. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Busker?
I just wanted to kind of echo Chief Leggett's thoughts about the vaccine. If we can all help get through this together. I got mine last week, and it just felt like somebody punched me in the arm for about 24 hours. After that, there was no side effects that I felt, and I'm still here today, no side effects. So just wanted to let everyone know, I'm trying to lead by example. It's safe. So with that, that's all I have this evening.
Thank you. Alderman Bradshaw?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Again, I want to say I'm sorry for the Quitt-Schreiber family and also for the Kortner family. I also want to say a big thank you to Tom Kortner's family for their donation to the fire department, and it means so much, and it would have meant a lot to Tom also. Thank you again.
Thank you. Alderman Misick?
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Thank you. Alderman Berberet?
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Thank you. Alderman Borneman?
Yes, Mayor, I had a few questions for the city manager about the snow removal from the last weekend or so. Manager Bucus, is it correct that the city is currently not operating at full capacity when it comes to staff in that department?
That is correct. We're 4 people down in that department. Well, 5 today because we have another person that's out on sick leave. So we're down 5 people.
And are we short on working equipment at this time too?
We do have our one front end loader is down, and I believe one of our trucks went down today as well. I think the differential went out on it.
Okay. So that affected the response time when it comes to over the past weekend or so, the heavy snow and then the removal?
Yes. On Wednesday morning, we had one truck go down. Hydraulic hose was blown, and then shortly thereafter, another truck went down. The radiator hose blew, but we were able to get that one back on the road fairly quickly. But there again, one of our snowplow drivers is also our mechanic, so if he's not plowing, if he's working on the trucks, then he's not plowing his route. So that's where the shortage comes in.
All right. So just in addition to the almost 11, 12 inches of snow, the department was short on resources, both manpower, womanpower, and equipment.
Yes.
Okay. Then on my way home from work today, I think the plow you're talking about, there's a plow broke down for the city today.
Yes.
Are these the new plows or the
No.
new trucks that we got?
No, these are trucks that need to be replaced.
Okay. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Alderman McClanathan?
Nothing further for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. And so that would leave us with item number 16, which is public comments. Madam Clerk, was there anything that came through?
No, nothing.
Okay, then that leaves us with item number 18, which is adjournment. If there's a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
There was Alderman Busker.
Seconded by Borneman.
Okay, we have a motion made by Alderman Busker, seconded by Alderman Borneman. Madam Clerk, could you please take the roll?
Parker.
Aye.
Busker.
Aye.
Brashaw.
Aye.
Mysick. Let's go on to Berberay.
Aye.
Borneman.
Aye.
McClanathan.
Aye.
And I'm sorry, Alderman Mysick, if you said aye earlier, I didn't hear you.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Motion passes 7-0.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a good evening.